Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and I need to make a Mother's Day card, but I am drawing a complete blank, and so I thought, I'm going to go ahead and challenge myself to just grab a pre-curated packet and make a card. So this is going to be kind of a blind challenge here. I do have my card base ready, so I've got, or not ready, I have it ready to go whenever I want to make it. So I've got my 8.5 by 11 sheet of Nina Solar White cardstock. I've got my scoring board, and I'm gonna set that aside because I don't know what this card is going to look like, other than I'll probably do, I don't know if I'm gonna do a 5 by 7 or if I'll do it a 5.5 by 4.25. So I'm not sure which one yet, but I've got these 1, 2, and 3 because I have 3 collections. I'm not going to open these, and I haven't looked at them in quite a while, but I grabbed 3 packets from my stash. So these packets I picked up at an estate sale, I think about a year ago, and the person that previously owned these had, I think, curated some packets for, or some kits for probably chipboard albums or junk journals or something like that. So they were already put together with all of the embellishments and everything included. And so I really need to start moving these off my shelf. So we're going to call this Kit 1. I haven't looked at these in quite a while, so I have no idea what's in them. Kit 2. And then this one is Kit 3. So let me go ahead and select one. That will be our kit. We're going to draw inspiration from that one. Shake this guy up. And this is our lucky number. Let's see which one of these. It is 2. So we're going to go with Kit 2. So let me move 3 and 1 out of the way. And let's see what we've got to work with. Lots and lots of cardstock. Looks like lots of embellishments. All of these had tons of embellishments. So let's go through some of this cardstock real quick and see. This is actually really nice paper. All of these kits were wonderful. Oh, I really like this. Let me set that. Let's set that aside over here. But I will link the video when I opened all of these. When I did that estate sale haul, I'll put a link for that video down in the description box so you can check that out if you would like. I've got 2 of these, it looks like, so that's good. If I mess one up, I've got a second. Really pretty. So looking for something maybe that coordinates with this then. I think this. I think that might coordinate. That might. And then I've got some solid cardstock in here. Some of these blues. Let me pull out one of the blues, and I'll pull out one of the greens. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but maybe that'll help. Okay, we've seen both of those before. I don't want to do glitter, so I'm going to have glitter everywhere. These are some glitter pages. I'm going to set those aside. Let me go back through this and see if there is something maybe I missed that I might want to pull out. This here isn't bad. Not sure what I'm going to make yet. Let me put this aside. Still drawing a blank, but that is pretty. Let's set that aside. And then I think most of these are repeating. So it's good to know that if I do mess up one of these sheets, I'll have another one to choose from. So that's nice. That's nice to know. Okay, now let's look at the embellishments. This can be one over the top card. So we've got some lace bits. This is really pretty here. We've got some tiny little letter stickers. We've got a bird cage. Here's some lace trim here. Angel wings. Some of these Prima florals. Some of these little guys. Some more florals. There's a stamp. More florals. 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 Aren't those pretty? Look at these little lace guys. Then we've got all these little floral bundles here. Set those aside. And then we've got just some extras. These must have fallen out of the other little bits of kit. There's a scrap. Here is some more trim. That's really pretty trim. And then some bling. Okay, let's narrow this down. I think that I've got the stuff here to make some sort of bouquet. So I think I'm going to make a bouquet of flowers because I have a ton of flowers. So my card theme will be a bouquet of flowers. Now let's try to narrow this down. I don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't need these, not this. All right, let's take a look at the flowers. So if I'm making a bouquet of flowers, I think that these would be nice. This might be too much. These would be nice. These guys right here would be nice. I'm going to draw in some of those blues, so I might keep this guy here and maybe this one here. And these two I'll put aside. I don't think that these are going to go kind of with these paper flowers, so I'll set that aside. I might end up deconstructing this and maybe using some of the leaves that are in here. So I'm going to use the smaller one. Let me keep that one out. I'll put the larger one away. And I don't think that I'll use this little white sprig. I'm not sure about the lace and trim. I'm going to go ahead and keep the little leaves out, and then maybe the bling. I'll keep the bling out as well. So we've got lace and trim, bling, florals, and then papers. So thinking about doing a bouquet. Okay. So what if, so this is going to be a very dimensional card then. What if this is kind of our base here? We could do a gatefold card that opens up, right? And then this can be cut down to insert, and all the flowers can be around this so that they'll pull out. Why do I want them to pull out? So the card will open. So they'll come down and they can keep the gatefold closed. So then we'll have to cut the gatefold at a diagonal. Yes. And then Happy Mother's Day will be underneath. Okay, rough, but we'll play around with it. I'm going to play around with it. So then we've got some of these flowers, some of these flowers, some of these sprigs. We'll make it over the top. It'll hang out. It'll come down. It'll do whatever. Both of these are great colors. And then let's see which one of these. I guess I don't know that I need one of these yet, but I think any one of these will work. So let me go ahead and fold the card and see if what I'm thinking will actually work. This looks like it's going to be pretty big. So why don't we do a 5x7? I don't traditionally do 5x7. I'm kind of an A2 size girl, but I don't know. This looks like it's going to be pretty big. Okay, so height-wise, it's going to be 7, and we're going to do 5x7. So half of 5 is 2.5. So if I'm going to fold over, I'm going to go to I'm going to go 2.5. Did I score it 2.5? I did. Okay. So 2.5, and then we're gonna go over 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And then we're gonna go over 2.5 more. 1, 2 to 10, because that would be 5. Actually, we're going to cut that off. So I'm gonna go back in. 1, 2, 2.5. There we go. It's gonna score there. Ah, all right. Okay, all that's going to be covered. I'm not worried about it. Goodness, I've got to put my math brain on. So let me trim off this inch over here. That is gone. Let me grab my bone folder. We're going to fold this in. In. There we go. We'll do it that way. And then in. All right, looks good. And then I'm going to trim it down to 7. So there's our 5x7 card base, right? And so my thought is that maybe here to here, we cut that out so that the floral bit slides in here and then keeps it closed. Goodness, I'm getting fancy. I don't typically get this fancy. Maybe it's because I'm thinking on the fly here. So I'm going to go ahead and go up 3 inches, which is about here. So let me mark this. Let me get that lined up. 3 inches right here, right here. So from this spot to the corner, I'm going to trim that. Same on this side. I hope you guys can see the vision here, right? Right, okay. So that will help me because those are guides. I'm gonna cut those. All right, let's see. Now I look like I have a tuxedo. Then this will come out of the top like so. And all the florals will be around this. And I do want a little bit of the lace trim to show. So I need to trim from about here to here at the least. So let's go there and there, and we'll work our way in. I want it to come out about this much. Here's the end point, so I've got to make those cuts before that. I'm going to cut this and we'll see where we're at. Do you guys see it? Are you seeing the vision here? All right, so this will go folded over. This will insert like so. And I think that I may end up having to trim. Maybe not, maybe not. So let's just go ahead and start arranging some flowers on here. What do we think? I think it looks great. Okay. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe this whole thing is the bouquet. And I put a bit of trim here. Like it wrapped over like the whole thing. Okay, that's what we're doing. That is what we are doing. So let's cover the entire thing. And these polka dots are screaming at me. I think we're going to use that. So we already know that this is going to be 5 by 7. So I'm going to trim this up to 5 by 7. All right. Here's my 5 by 7. It is going to fit on there perfectly. All right. And I'm going to trim right down the center. I'm going to go ahead and ink these up, glue these on, and then we'll trim them. All right. I did go ahead and cut another piece because I think I wanted it to kind of overlap instead of meet in the middle. You know, like if you would wrap, bundle up flowers. Anyway, that's what I'm going with. I'm going to rough up these edges a little bit because it's looking a little too straight and neat for me. So let me rough these up some. I'm using that Tim Holtz razor tool, the little blades inside there. We'll distress this. And I use it because I have it. If you don't have one of these, you can use scissors. It'll do the same thing. And maybe this will, yeah, I was hoping that this would be a little bit of an inspiration, you know, that you guys might want to make a bouquet card as well. And I know this is kind of difficult because there was no plan. Right? This is just, you know, challenge yourself. Use what is in your stash and challenge yourself. Okay, I do have some walnut stain. Let me get a foam. All right, I needed a new foam from a blending tool. Okay, that's the other side. All right, I'm going to ink this up a little bit. I'm using the walnut stain distress ink. I'm going to go all the way up. And I have no idea how this is going to turn out. And it's probably a little extra, to be honest with you, but it's for Mom on Mother's Day. So we're going to be a bit extra. All right. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just use my glue for this. That way I can just glue up this panel and stick it down. We have rain here again today in Texas. I had no idea it was coming. I kept getting these notifications of flash flood warnings, wondering where, and that is why I use glue, wondering where the flash floods were coming from because it was sunny outside. And then about 30 minutes later, the storm clouds rolled in and now we've got storms. So we went from sunny to stormy very quickly. Okay, now let's trim this. Oh, wow. Okay. And this is crafting without a plan. Okay, glue this side up. I hardly do this. I usually do like a card sketch. I don't typically come in here and just start crafting away like this. But I did want to pull out one of those kits that I had thrifted, or not thrifted, that I got from that estate haul and use it up. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Didn't have any plans. Was kind of having a hard time. I'm going to see if I can get this lined up right. Was kind of having a hard time thinking of what I wanted to do with this card. how I wanted this Mother's Day card to look like this year. Last year I went all out. I think with the bouquet then too, kind of. It was very floral last year. I do remember that. Still looks like a tuxedo, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. I'm going to put my flowers down. I'm going to go ahead and commit to these and get them down. All right, so I've scored right down the middle. That way it will kind of, you know, I need to put more glue in there. I scored right down the center. That way it will kind of create a bigger base for the, you know, so that the card will stand. And now I've just got to figure out the closure. Then I think I am going to use some ribbon. I really like this, and it has some stretch to it, but I don't know if I'm going to put it all the way around. Okay, I think that is what I am going to do. So get my Fabri-Tac. We're gonna go right along here. I don't know that there's a front or back. Okay, I'm gonna leave it loose across the back. I'm not going to glue it down. All right. Don't want to pull tight. I'm gonna leave that kind of loose back there. Trim this. And then let's see what I've got by way of bows. You want a gold bow? So I'm considering whether or not to attach this on these ends right here. so that it's just kind of permanently attached in here. And it doesn't actually move in or out. So then if it is laying right here like this, we close it up. And then we have room for our message. So I am going to put glue here and right there. And we will see. The only thing I'm nervous about is how it'll impact the way it folds in the back there. But I think it'll be fine. So let's fold it over and it closes, and it stands. It stands on its own. I had to clean some stuff up. My workspace just got way too chaotic. I had things everywhere. So I wanted to just come back and show you all the final touches, the finishing touches that I put on the card. So, and these are all basic techniques. So I did go ahead and add a tag. It was just a regular craft tag. I did use the foam dots to pop it up. It is a white emboss, and then I took that walnut stain and I inked the edge and then inked over, or yes, and blended over the top. That way it wasn't like a stark white. I also added a little Velcro dot to the inside of this so that it stays closed. And I used these guys, Velcro for crafting. These tiny little thin dots, and I absolutely love them. They're handy for stuff like this. So after I permanently attached this and figured out that it would stand on its own, yay, I added that Velcro dot to keep it closed. And then I went ahead and added Happy Mother's Day. So I did die cut it 3 times and layered it up so it's nice and solid. It's nice and thick. I did hit the edges with my walnut stain and then just kind of glued down some of the important bits there so that it stays in place. I'll be able to write my message on the inside, or I can always write a message and tuck it in back here if I wanted to. So, and again, I left this part loose, and that is it. That is the card. I think it is absolutely lovely. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I appreciate you guys toughing it out with me because I had zero plan, and it was just kind of a mess there in a few spots, and I wasn't sure what I was doing or where I was going with this. So I will go ahead and put the dimensions for the card if it's something that you might be interested in replicating or making on your own, or if you have another direction you want to go with it, but you'd like to have the dimensions for this, I will go ahead and put the dimensions in the description box. I'll also link a video to the haul for the kit when I picked this up. So I still have, I mean, I hardly put a dent in it, so I still have a ton of stuff, but I am happy with the way that this turned out. I hope that you guys liked it. Please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please put it down in the comments section, and I'll be sure to reply as soon as possible. And until next time, bye.